So we've had the privilege of having Mathieu Cortyl with us from Tonisity, and he's been introducing the product Tonisity PX to the pig industry in South Africa. We've been traveling around the country and speaking to industry leaders and people that influence the pig industry nutritionally. And so I have the opportunity now just to ask Mathieu a few questions. Thank you for being with us, Mathieu. We really appreciate your visit to the country and the wonderful possibility that we have with a product that is unique. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about Tonisity PX.
Sure. Thank you, Charles. Thank you for welcoming me here. It was really an interesting week, and I really enjoyed it. You know that piglets are born with an immature intestine, and also we see a trend for larger litters with smaller and weaker piglets with the new genetics. So we need to address this issue because we see at the same time an increased mortality pre-weaning, and that is affecting the profitability of the farms. And what we have found is that by feeding the intestine and targeting the enterocyte during the first days of life, we can significantly improve the situation. We can significantly reduce the mortality of those piglets, and that can have positive effects until the slaughter of the pigs.
Mathieu, thank you for that. Maybe you could explain to us how tonicity works in the gut of the animal then.
Yeah. So actually this solution, we call it isotonic protein drink. It's an unique concept which is coming from the human science and also from canine science. We have transferred the knowledge. This solution is going to specifically target the enterocytes. The enterocytes are the cells in the small intestine of the pigs. And we are going to supply electrolytes, energy sources, proteins, amino acids, so the enterocytes have all the necessary nutrients to produce their own energy. And this is very important, so the intestine can develop and also the cells can do their job of absorbing nutrient to feed the pig. So we are not feeding the piglet, we are feeding the enterocytes that are going to absorb the nutrients. In a nutshell, that's what the product is doing at the intestinal level.
Maybe then moving on to the application of the product. How does one actually apply the use of this product when you're feeding it?
So the key point of application is the first week of life, when the piglets are developing their small intestine. Probably you know that they are born with an immature intestine that still needs to grow and is going to basically double the size in less than 3 weeks. And so that is the key moment. That is where we need to have the intervention, early intervention during the first week of life. And we are going to prepare a solution by mixing the powder with water. And this solution will be administered to piglets by using simple bowls or pans in the farrowing house.
And Mathieu, you mentioned to me that it's important for this product to be utilized from day 2 with a piglet. Is that correct? Could you explain at what stage the piglet starts to use it?
Exactly. It's very important to have an intervention as early as possible. So the first day of life, as you know, is for colostrum intake, so we don't give the product at that time. Then we will distribute it from day 2 to day 8 for 1 week. And then we can also apply it again before weaning by mixing it with creep feed, and that will help a lot in transition at weaning. We are going to significantly reduce the stress of weaning by teaching the piglets how to eat more feed and rehydrate the piglet before weaning.
Thank you very much. And then what beneficial results can one then expect from the use of Tonisity PX?
So one of the beneficial effects, and which is not visible to the farmer, of course, is the gut development. We see significantly taller villi, we see better gut health, and we see, for example, more lactobacilli population in the gut. We see reduction of E. coli in the gut. We see an increase in volatile fatty acid in the gut. For example, acetic, propionic, butyric acids are increased according to our research. But of course, all this is not visible to the farmer. What the farmer will see is first piglets which have more energy, which are going to drink more milk from their mother, and those piglets will have a reduced pre-weaning mortality. As you are certainly aware, most of the pre-weaning mortality is happening during the first week of life. About 70-80% of the mortality is during the first week of life. So by this early intervention, we are going to significantly reduce the pre-weaning mortality. On average, we see a reduction by about 20 to 30%, meaning, for example, if you start at 15% mortality, you can expect to go down to about 10%. And we also see, on a longer term, we see piglets that will grow faster in the post-weaning phase, and that will also grow faster in the fattening phase. We have on average 7 days less to reach market for those pigs.
Matthew, just another question that comes to mind now is this: when you consider this product on a farm, are you telling me that it's a product that you use more for your weaker little piglets, the piglets that are more sickly, that are struggling, or do you use it for all your piglets?
Actually, the initial reaction would be to use them on those weak piglets which really need support, but it would be wrong to do so. We have done research which shows that we are able to reduce significantly the mortality of all classes of piglets. Even those which are born with average or above average weight are going to take advantage of the solution. And when you look at the distribution of the population of piglets, 50 to 60% of the pigs are born with an average weight, and 40% are heavy piglets. So 10% are those weak and small piglets. And when you look at the number of piglets that you can wean extra per class of weight and the number related to the distribution of the population, you can actually save much more piglets from the medium and heavy classes than you can from the small piglet classes. So my message here is that you should distribute this product to all the piglets if you want to really get a return on investment of the product.
Just a few practical things that come to mind now, Matthew. You're targeting this at pigs in their first week of life, first 8 days of life especially, and it would seem that this is a product that it's mixed in water. Water must play a very important role, does it not?
The water quality is extremely important, of course. You are giving it to baby pigs, which have immature intestine, which is sterile at birth. So you have to be extra careful, I would say, about the quality of the water you are going to use, especially free of pathogens. And also we have noticed that because we want to have an isotonic solution, this is the very important point of the product. We have noticed that if you use extremely hard water, you are going to have an hypertonic solution because of the heavy load of minerals in the water, and that is going to affect the performance of the product. So we would recommend you to use water which is not hard, soft, or let's say water with low hardness would be more appropriate.
Matthew, so I'm trying to think of the practicalities of this on a farm. I would imagine a farmer would want to be clear on whether this is going to take a lot of additional management and labor to apply the product.
No, actually the feedback from our customers is that first, this product is really easy to mix with water. It dissolves very quickly, so it doesn't require any specific, you don't need to have warm water, you don't need specific equipment, you just need a bucket to mix it inside. And then in terms of distribution, it's just once a day. You have to give it for 1 week, once a day, half a liter for each liter of pigs. And it takes just a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes to do your job. And also, I would like to mention a very important point. It's that this product being very palatable to the piglets, they tend to finish the solution very quickly. And it's very important in terms of hygiene. For example, you know that when a solution, like for example a milk, would be sitting for hours in a barn with warm temperature, with maybe flies, it could be creating issues with the contamination of the solution. But here in this case, we don't see we don't have this concern, because the solution is very quickly consumed, so it's safe as well.
Matthew, then the big question in anybody's mind is going to be, the product works, it's unique, it's very special to have a product that is that can be applied in these early days of a pig's life, and the benefits are indisputable. But what about the return on investment?
So we've done quite a few studies with customers. We have done simulation of the economic impact, and what we find is that if you consider only the impact on mortality, you have return on investment which would be in the range of 4 to 1. Then when you also look at the impact on performance post-weaning, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to see heavier pigs at the same age. We are going to be able to send them earlier to the market. In this case, if you add up the reduction of mortality, more pigs produced, and faster growth of those pigs, we can calculate the return on investment being in some, depending on the market conditions, of course, in the range of 5 to 1 to 10 to 1. That's what we usually see. I have seen in some farms 15 to 1, but that was exceptional due to the very high price of the pigs sold.
So that leads on to a final question. From the commercial trials that you've been doing around the world, from some of the trials that have been done with big and leading academic institutions, what have been some of the striking results that have been coming out? Some of the results that have surprised even yourself and the company with this product. Would there be any that come to mind in particular?
Well, I think we were not really expecting to see an impact on the bacteria population of the gut. That was not expected, and it's an added benefit. Probably it's a secondary effect of a healthier villi. And also we were able to see that we not only improve the growth performance of those pigs, but we also improve the homogeneity of the weight at slaughter, and this is extremely important for the profitability of the farm. As you know, a swine farmer will always have a few pigs that are staying longer and that are costing a lot of money. We are able to move those smaller pigs up to the ladder, and they go to market faster. So I think that was an added benefit that we have observed.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mathieu Cortyl, and travel well, and thank you for visiting us in South Africa.
Thanks again for your hospitality. Yeah.
Pleasure.